And Steve,
Hey
welcome back to the
Bart,
show.
how are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Your wife Monica was here yesterday, and she shared all your vacation pictures.
We had a great little bike packing adventure. Kind of revisited something we had done back in 2020, and took a slightly different route, but ended up in Grand Haven for a couple of days, and we had a great time. So.
Yeah, here we are. I think we saw Monica in yesterday's version, so here you are.
That dog I'm holding is actually quite YouTube famous. His name is Sir Willie the Wiener Dog.
Okay.
And he is owned by an Australian woman named Sophie Lynn, and Sophie is the partner of a professional off-road cyclist named Alexei Vermeulen. No relation to the furniture store Vermeulen's, but Alexei is actually from Pinckney. Mm-hmm. He's one of the best cyclists in the country, and he was in town a couple weekends ago to ride the course and do some content creation around the Irish Hills gravel race that's going to be coming up. He's going to be helping us promote that. So.
Did you have any mishaps on your road trips?
On our road, well.
It looks like maybe did you hit the dog?
I did not hit the dog. That was actually just taking a little break, giving the dog a chance to get off and have a nature break. And we thought we were going to get rained on, and you can see that the clouds are kind of looking a little interesting on that picture in the right of the group. But the thing that you can't maybe see is that dog rides on Alexei's back in a backpack, and up in that very front, the very first rider, you can see kind of something on his back. That's Sir Willie in a backpack on his back. So, but in terms of our vacation, our bike packing trip, we had no mishaps, but as we got to like the fourth or fifth day, and we were leaving the hotel in the morning, and we were going up a pretty steep hill, and Monica was kind of riding in front of me, and I'm sensing that maybe she's not having the best time, and the only goal for the whole trip was that Monica have fun. That was my goal. I started kind of chatting, and she just looking straight ahead, no answer, and I thought, okay, this could be an issue. So we made the decision a little bit later on that day that she was gonna end the journey in Alma, which was where we were staying that night, and our niece was dog sitting for us, and so she drove Monica's car with the bike rack up to Alma, picked her up, and took her home, so she got to have a nice relaxing day at home the next day. And instead of riding to East Lansing, and like was our plan, and spending the night, I just rode from Alma back to Jackson that next day.
Well, when you're gassed, you're gassed.
Exactly.
So you're actually doing a lot, I think, just in person to get the community and really the region ready for something that you're bringing that's brand new, happening in October.
Yeah. So I've been a cyclist basically my whole life, but really have gotten into gravel bike riding over the past, probably 7 or 8 years. And it's the fastest growing segment of cycling, and really in the world, but definitely in the United States. When you're out on the roads, obviously cars are always a concern for cyclists. So riding on a dirt road, there's fewer cars, and those cars that are there are generally going slower. And technology has improved enough that now they've got bikes available that can run really wide tires at lower pressure, so you don't feel like you're going to rattle the fillings out of your teeth going down these roads. So I've been spending a lot of time doing that, and as I've been training for races over the past few years, I always wondered why I didn't see more people out there, because our roads are so beautiful and there's so much great scenery, and you go past so many cool places. And got to talking with Ryan Tarrant, the president of Experience Jackson, a year or so ago, just kind of talking about my goal to really, shine a light on how great the gravel biking and the biking in general is in this region. And he said, we should talk. So one thing led to another, and I find myself at Experience Jackson and really taking on the mantle of trying to promote all things outdoor recreation, and at least for this first little bit, really leaning into cycling, because that's a world that I know really well, and I think that's an area where we can make some pretty big strides quickly.
I think a lot of us take it for granted what we have here
That's really true, you know, including me. You know, the Falling Waters Trail is just such an amazing asset for our county. It really just serves as an incredible backbone from which you can go to a lot of different and diverse places. Going out of Concord, there's just, you know, kind of unlimited possibilities that you can go into in eastern Jackson County, over into Calhoun County, south into Hillsdale, and you can really get into some beautiful spots quickly. So.
Yeah, so we have another opportunity to attract more people to the area.
Yeah.
With this, what's it called?
Irish Hills Gravel is the race we're doing. I brought you a hat so you
nice.
can help us advertise
Cool.
a little bit. Yeah, so October 18th, we're going to be doing a race starting and ending at Michigan International Speedway.
Race.
A race.
A race.
A race. A race is a loose definite. For
Okay.
somebody like me, you know, it's like I'm not at the pointy end of that spear, so I'm really racing myself and my own ideals, my own
Okay.
goals, right? So, with a lot of people, it'll be just finishing. We're doing a 50 kilometer, which is a 30-ish mile, and a 100 kilometer, which is 60-ish miles. So 2 different routes, both beginning and ending at MIS.
Here's the 50.
Yep,
Right.
that's the 50. So both head south out of MIS and kind of go through the game area just south there down Bricks Highway, and kind of stair-stepping down into Lenawee County, and then back kind of along the similar route up into back through that game area, and back up to Irish Hills, or back up to MIS.
Yeah,
So.
it's Irish Hills, emphasis on hills.
There are some good punchy little climbs out there for sure. So that picture you saw of me with the dog, that was a group of us pre-riding the 100-kilometer course a couple weeks ago. And you know, for me, even though I'm pretty trim, I'm a bigger guy. I'm pretty tall, and so climbing those hills, I can't keep up with the wispy small guys who are just like flying up those things. So I'm definitely bringing up the back of the pack in that regard.
All right, so the dotted lines on the maps, those are actual gravel.
Those are the dirt roads or the gravel roads, and the solid lines are the paved roads, correct. So we're definitely doing a higher percentage. This one you can see over on the left-hand side of that screen, it shows you 81% of that route is gravel. And it actually would be a little bit higher, but the way we end coming in from the north into MIS, there just really is no way to avoid pavement. And I think that'll be a good respite for people as they're finishing up their race, right?
So the effort, I've ridden on gravel a little bit, but not great distances.
Yeah.
So to go, say, a 50-mile race on gravel versus road. How does it compare in terms of effort and time?
Well, it'll be a little bit slower, right, because you get more rolling resistance, and obviously the road is not as smooth, so you're going to be kind of bumping along. So there's definitely some fatigue that plays into your shoulders and your back and whatnot. But I've just found it to be just my favorite places to go riding. I just love getting out on those country roads, and I try and wave at everybody as I go past, and
the cows.
Yeah, exactly. Say hi to the llamas. You'd be surprised that we saw some emus the other day as we were out there. So, but yeah, it's definitely will take you a little bit longer and be a little bit more of an effort. But I think people will feel the sense of accomplishment at the end for sure.
All right, we'll look forward to that, and you can find more information at experiencejackson.com.
IrishHillsGravel.com
Irish
actually
Hills
is the website. Experience Jackson will have information, and we've got Instagram and Facebook stuff going. So IrishHillsGravel.com.
Awesome. Rain or shine?
Rain or shine.
Rain or shine.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Steve.
Thanks for having me, Bart.
Our downtown neighbor from Experience Jackson Outdoor Recreation Manager, Steve Trozen.